he's coming back, and what you do here matters, for eternity. And even if his return isn't soon, worst case scenario is you live a really good life and you help a lot of people, right? What's up, guys? It is Friday, August 30th. I'm here at the City Fam offices. Been here since this morning, gonna be here till late tonight. We have a fundraising meeting tonight here at the office, so we'll be here till about 9 o'clock. I want to send a shout out to my friend Tim Lockamy. It's his birthday today. I'm gonna be going over to Sandlot, meeting up with him. But I'm just gonna jump into it. So I wanna talk a little bit about, I put up a post a few days ago. It was a video I made where I was just talking about the character of God. I was talking about, when there's delays in the breakthrough coming, how you really have to kind of know the word. Number one, you have to know what the Bible says, because if you don't, it would be really easy to quit if you don't know the promises that are in there. And then you really have to kind of just trust the character of God, that he's good. And if he says, something is the way that it is, that you just have to kind of believe it and keep pressing on, even if the evidence, it doesn't support that thing. So I've actually referenced a couple verses in that post where I talked about, how God, the word says that God knit us together in our mother's womb, that he actually formed us, everything about us, gave us our all our physical attributes, all of our gifts, all of our talents, he gave us. And it also says that he prepared good works in advance for us to do. So really, when you kind of think about those two things, if you're doing something that you're called to do, like you just know that you're called to do it, like I know that I'm called to do the things that I'm doing, then even when if you're working really hard and the evidence isn't there for you getting any kind of traction or breakthrough, you have to lean on the fact that, okay, God, I know God called me to this, and if he put the work, he put the talents in me, like I don't feel like I have the talents to do this. That's the thoughts that came through my mind several times, where I'm like, I don't feel like I can make this happen on my own. But if he gave me the talents and he called me to do this and prepared it in advance, is what it says, which is really just mind-blowing, that he prepared the works in advance for me to do, then I have to believe that at some point he's just going to show up and do it, or he's going to surround me with the right people to make it happen. And this is just a period of, where the word says, after you have suffered a little while, that God will restore you and uplift you, and whatever other verbs it use, I forget. But my point is you have to kind of look at those things. You have to know that it says that first, right? That's why you got to read a little bit. That's why I spend a little bit of time in the morning just kind of consuming a little bit of the word, because I got to learn it. But then you got to believe it. You got to believe that God is trustworthy and his character is good, and that if he said it, that he'll do it. So, I've had to do all that, to get to this point, because there was a lot of times where I'm like, I don't see nothing happening, and there's still things in my life, still certain areas in my life that I'm just kind of trusting them, where I don't see any evidence of change. You know what I mean? Like, for example, my relationship status, which has been, just a sore subject of sorts, I guess, for me, because I'm like, damn, dude, like, to God, I'll have prayers with God where I'm like, I'm 46 years old, bro. Like, come on, for real? Like, so is this going to happen or what? But I got to keep trusting and believing that, again, that there's a reason that I'm single. Maybe it has to do with the calling on my life, the things that I'm doing with the book or City Fam, or maybe it's just me. Maybe I just haven't grown enough. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe she's not ready. I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot of areas like that I've had to just kind of go, okay, I trust you, but I don't know who that's for, but I wanted to talk a little bit about it. I also made a post the other day about Jesus, about the fact that he's coming back soon, I believe. I don't talk about that a lot. So, and I do want to talk about it a little bit tonight. I don't know where this conversation is going to go, forewarning. When I got saved 19 years ago, it was crazy experience. A totally road to Damascus experience. I was in Cancun, Mexico, got baptized in the Holy Spirit. God, didn't even know God was real up until then. He asked me to trust him and to follow him. Told me some things about my life, about the future, about the world. It really scared me, to be honest, and that was a big reason why I turned. And I don't know. I know that when I read, like I mentioned yesterday in the post when I put it up, I was like, I see people that talk about Jesus returning, and the popular belief is that there's just going to be some poof, everybody's going to disappear, all the Christians are going to disappear, and our clothes are going to be laying where we were. And I'm like, I don't think it happens like that. I don't think it's this pie in the sky thing. People got it wrong the first time that he came. No one thought that Jesus was going to be, that the Messiah was going to be nailed to a cross, and killed, right? But it was only after the fact that it kind of made sense for people. So when you talk about his return, I'm like, yeah, I don't think it happens like that. I think that's it's comfortable. It's to believe that hey, we get out scot-free, no suffering here, no pain. But I don't think it happens like that. So just really kind of the post, I guess the point of it was to encourage people to live as in such a way that is a reality, that he's coming back, and what you do here matters, for eternity. And even if his return isn't soon, worst case scenario is you live a really good life and you help a lot of people, right? I know from experience, because I used to not live I used to not live like he was coming back, and I had fun. It was fun, YOLO, right? But now I live in a way as such that his return is imminent, and it forces me to be very intentional about how I spend my time and the things that I do. And I tell you, just the two differences in living that way, I'm very fulfilled. I don't think I've ever been more fulfilled in my life from the life that I've led the last several years, the people's lives I've impacted, that I've been able to help, the amount of volunteering, whatever, all that stuff. It's been great, and it's all because I live with intention, knowing that Jesus is returning. That's the only reason, honestly, because I still have cravings for the wrong things all the time. But I don't let the things that I want now, derail me from the things that I want most. So, I don't know why I wanted to talk about that, but I put up a post, and I'm sure if you read it, it sounds a little like, whoa, heavy. But to encourage, I guess, people that are watching to remind them that this is a reality. If you're not a believer, it doesn't matter. It is reality. Like, you can believe that gravity doesn't exist, and if you step off of a building, you're going to hit the ground. And in my mind, at the risk of sounding not politically correct at all, it's just reality. Like, Jesus is who he said he was, and he is coming back at some point. Whether it's soon or not, I guess that's to be determined, but I do think it's a lot sooner than most people think. So anyway, I'm gonna get off that soapbox and move on and start talking about some more fun things that are happening. So really getting my second wind, feeling really good over the last couple weeks. Been leaving the office, most nights between like 5, maybe 7 o'clock at the latest. In the past, I was staying until like 9 or 10, but spending more time with family and friends, getting to bed earlier. Been waking up at 4 o'clock, most mornings, sometimes 3:45, working out really hard. My workouts have been super intense and consistent. I have been working on getting my book funnel set up. So I really want to start running ads for my book. I kind of did some ads in the past, but haven't been super consistent with them. I really didn't even know what I was doing, I guess, necessarily. But I've hired a coach now to help me with getting the book funnel set up, where I'm basically going to give the book away for just shipping and handling, and then I'll upsell people on other products. But the thought is just to get a lot of the books in people's hands, because a lot of people that read the book, they want to start a City Fam. So it's a great segue for us to help plant more of these chapters in other places. So I'm pretty excited about it. Hopefully it'll open more doors for me to speak about sex, which I love doing. So yeah, pumped about that. So we do have chapters that have now, like Houston is kind of going. They're an official City Fam. They're actually really killing it right now. Dallas is very close to being an official City Fam chapter. Montreal is meeting now, and London is just starting up. So a lot of cool stuff, a lot of interest. You know, again, I don't know if you've seen the video I made with the map. There are literally people all over the world that have reached out, and now we're just making sure our systems are tight enough that we can support these chapters when they start up. So it's very exciting. It's a lot of work, obviously, and still, you know, haven't gotten the actual like fruit of any kind of like monetary, you know, rewards from it yet to put in the gas tank. So it's still just a lot of work with, you know, with a little resources, but we're doing it, and it's exciting. It's an exciting environment to come into every day when you're seeing the changes happening all around you. And so anyway, that is what's happening. Adelina, the woman that brought me to Romania, is here in the States. She is actually taking a fundraising course in Washington, D.C. So she is working with our newly formed fundraising committee tonight here at the City Fam offices. And we're really going to she's going to teach us what she learned in this 4-day course over the course of about 3 hours. And we're hoping to learn how to raise money for the organization, because again, that has been probably our biggest challenge has been financial, because you know, you have to have money to pay people in order to really work at something, like to provide, you know, dedicated time to it. Because when people are working full time in other places, they can only give you so many hours to volunteer. So it's hard to get, you know, everything in place when your vision is so big as City Fam's is. So we're really hoping that this fundraising initiative is successful. So if you're a praying type out there, please keep us in prayer. That is definitely probably the thing that we need most right now is finances. So that's a good segue into Seafood Festival. Is what is it? I think it's in like 2 weeks. 2 weeks from this weekend, we are volunteering at the Seafood Festival. So if you want to help City Fam, if you want to go out and enjoy a nice day out, you actually get some tickets to the Seafood Festival. I think you get some drink tickets. You might even get some food tickets. But you take a shift, and they give us a $500 donation for providing volunteers. So if you'd like to do that, please DM me. I will give you the proper email address for who you can reach out to, and we would be very grateful to have you help. Plus, you'll meet some great people in the process. Our next service event is September 28th, I believe, or maybe it's the 24th. I forget what day today is. Whatever September Saturday, whatever day Saturday is, in September 24th or 8th. I forget which one it is. I apologize. But we are going to be working with Happy Helpers for the homeless, and we're going to be making sandwiches and sandwich food bags for teens that are experiencing homelessness. So really excited about that. I'll actually be out of the country for that one, so I'll miss it, but it's going to be a great volunteer experience. And you know, I made a post about this recently because it's been such a big piece for me getting to the point where I'm at. You know, it just accelerated all the things for me. You know, volunteering, when you volunteer, you get you just feel good. You know, you kind of get like a high almost, right? Like, 'cause you just feel good about helping people. And if you look at it medically, your brain releases certain chemicals when you volunteer that are very similar to drugs. And you know, I tell people, like, if you're struggling with something, maybe, you know, alcohol or some kind of substance addiction, or you know, whatever, like, volunteering is such a great thing to do, because it gives you like a dose of something, and then you don't crave it in the wrong way, you know, in addition to the fact that you meet some really good people that will help you get to where you need to go. Like I didn't get to where I'm at right now by myself. Like there have been so many people that have contributed time, money, different kind of resources, advice. They got on my board, all because they saw that I was giving back. So they wanted to help me because they see that I'm trying to help people. And I met a lot of them too, just in the context of volunteering or doing something, whatever, going to church or whatever it was. So when you get on that path of volunteering, it certainly doesn't have to be with CityFam, it could be with anybody. You just meet a better class of people. Like when I was in the bars, like those people weren't really trying to help people necessarily. Not to say they were all bad people, they weren't. But they were just, a lot of them are in a stage of their life where they're just kind of doing them. You know what I mean? They're not really out trying to help somebody move or volunteer a bunch of time without thinking of themselves, like what am I going to get in return? When you volunteer, people are already in that frame of mind. So you just meet a different class of people, or people are in a different season of their life, not necessarily any better than the other people, they just are in a different season. So this is why I recommend, or suggest for my friends, especially the ones that are struggling, is volunteer. Even if you're depressed, it's such a good thing for depression, like volunteering. So anyway, you can sign up for the volunteer event on the CityFam website. If you want to help us out with the seafood festival, or even the Ravens games, actually, we're volunteering at the Ravens games. That's another way we generate money for the organization, is we volunteer at each home game, and we pour beers, and you get to keep your tips actually, and we get a percentage of the sales. So if you'd like to know about either of those opportunities, please send me a message. I'll connect you with the right people. What else is going on? So our next Renegade event is our social event, is the first Friday of the month. It's not this Friday. It's not today. It's a week from today. It'll be on the Avenue in White Marsh. We'll be at Medici. It's the new pizza spot right there in the center. Very cool what they did with the Avenue. We'll be playing ladder toss, hanging out, food and drink specials for our group. So come out, you'll meet some good people. And then last but not least is Stéphane Labossier's events at the end of October. I'll be speaking at his events on October 25th in Philly, October 26th in Pittsburgh, and October 27th in DC. Very excited about it. If you're in any of those areas or even close by, reach out to me. I'd love to meet up with you. I'm gonna be doing a meet and greet before. Yes, Jocelyn, service is better than drinking, doing drugs, or having sex outside of marriage, or overeating, or overworking, or staying home alone. Booyah, nailed it, yes. Not better than having sex within the confines of marriage, though. I still would probably choose sex over volunteering if I was married. Anyway, but no, if you're in any of those areas, Philly, Pittsburgh, DC, I would love to connect with you. I'm gonna do a meet and greet on each day that I'm in those places with people that are potentially wanting to be part of CityFam, maybe start a chapter, maybe just be part of it. And then we'll probably go do something social each night after the Stéphane event. Potentially karaoke, I don't know, maybe. So anyway, reach out to me if you're in those areas. I'd love to hook up, and that's it. So talk to you guys next week. See you.